Okay, so this is Studio One by Presonus, and I'm doing some tests on latency and multi-core CPU usage. And first I'm going to set my audio device in here to ASIO, because I was using a Windows Audio, works great, but has a lot of latency. So when composing and producing, it's better to use the ASIO instead. But when mixing and mastering, you can use the Windows Audio because it has a better performance. But what I want to test is the multi-core processing. So, okay, I set here my ASIO driver, and I'm going to set the lowest latency possible. That's 2 microseconds. And I can see here that my output is already 4 microseconds, because there's some extra latency added by the input and output. But I have the low latency instrument option in here, which shows a Z icon. So the instrument, if it has a Z icon in the instrument panel, allows me to get a 6 microseconds latency when playing MIDI. So that's already good. You can see that the CPU usage are already raised because I have a lot of instruments. I'm using some raw instruments in here because they are very hungry in the CPU. And if I play this little pattern here, you can see that the performance goes very high. You can hear the audio because I'm not recording the audio. I'm just recording the video and my voice, not the sound card audio. But you can see here that we got a lot of usage. Let me play again. It released the driver, so now it's back. You can see the big dip when I stop it, the audio driver. So it is using all the cores, so that's a good sign. I was a bit worried about that because I read online that you have to have your project in a certain way, and it's not exactly that, because right here I have all my stuff going to a bus and I have several sends. So let me try and create another bus in here. I'm going to send more of these guys to another bus. Bus 2. You lower the volume. You can hear on my headphones the audio, but I can't record the audio because it's ASIO, so it's all going straight directly to the sound card, and there's not many options that I have. So let's see again the performance. Okay, it released the audio driver and stopped process. So let's play again. And it's still working on all the cores. So the main problem would be if you start adding a lot of insert effects in one instrument, and that's going to max out one core. So we have to. That's the only thing I can think about it. Another thing I was doing and doing some tests is when I clicked on monitor and on my headphones here, I can listen that's very low latency. So it is indeed what is set up in here, which is 6 milliseconds latency. But you can see here on the performance down the bottom left, the performance goes to maximum, but I don't hear any clipping sounds on the audio. Sometimes 1 or 2 clicks every half a minute, depending on what I'm doing. But that's normal for ASIO because it's very low latency. But you can see here that it's maxed out the CPU, but there's nothing here that's using all that, and there's nothing really here that's using all that. Because if I uncheck it, the only core that's having a lot of processing, well, it dropped a bit. but not as much as it shows in the CPU. Well, kind of. But still, I don't hear any clipping, so it is working. I just think that the monitor here is not very reliable. I don't know how it's computing the usage and stuff like that. So let me try. Okay, I was doing the monitor on all of the instruments, so now let's do on just one. And now it still goes to 100%, but here on the monitor, I don't see a big difference. Let's turn it off to see. Here, it's lowering a bit after I turn off. So let's turn on again for just one instrument. Yeah, it raises a bit, but this monitor here is just really not showing correctly. I don't know how they created it and what it does, because it's just not right. But apart from that, everything seems to be working. So I would say ASIO for composing and producing, performing, and the Windows driver for when mixing and mastering. It's just incredible on how much this CPU can take. And it's not really a new CPU. So okay, just a test I want to do. And it seems that I think I understand it a bit better now. Each instrument goes to one core, and any insert I add to that instrument is going to pile up on that core, and the Studio One decides which core is going to use. So that's nice. And if I disable everything by moving away from the focus on the Studio One, so it releases the audio, goes almost to 0. You can see here on the graphic that's almost 0. It's not 0 because I'm using the video capture program, which takes a lot of CPU. So it's not really 0. Let's go back and play again. And it started using again. So okay, that's it for this video. Just some small stuff I want to test. Thanks for watching.